Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Hi, this is Justin here with Commercial Electrical Profits Inside Strategic Relations. I'm here to share with you a very, very important lesson about maintaining control and composure. Now, I don't know whether it was the pictures of Michelle Obama being angry and yelling at her husband, or the fact that some people in my life periodically get angry and upset about situations. But it doesn't matter what it was, that frustration and anger I see in people at times, and sometimes have in my own life, only gets in the way of results. An excellent book that I highly recommend to all my clients is Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And in his book, it talks about your ability to control not only your mind, but through the control of your mind, attitude, and behavior, the transformation of the world around you. Now, we could simply look at it from a psychological perspective that your perception impacts how you see the world, how you translate. So the world could be crap, could be completely a waste. Let's give a practical example. The world, you could be going fishing, and it's been a beautiful day. You've been out on the boat all day. The weather is just right. All that tension that was in your shoulders, it's completely gone, and you've just had that rod over the side. You've been relaxing, maybe your favorite brew, maybe you had a sandwich out there. Life is great, and you don't catch a single damn fish. Now, you could have that relaxation and enjoyment of the process, not reach your results, but still really had a wonderful day, a really productive, relaxing attitude. I know people who go fishing, they don't even put a rod in the water sometimes. They just enjoy getting that break, being away. Maybe they take their boy out and their boy gets to do a little fishing. Maybe they just sit there and relax and just absorb the atmosphere. Got a couple buddies that gear up to go fishing on their little kayaks. They do a little fishing here, they do a little kayaking there. End of the day, doesn't matter if they caught anything, they have a great time. Now, I'm not saying mediocrity is okay, or not getting your result is okay, but there's a difference between being all pissed off about it and being relaxed and having a good time, having just make it work. So I see these pictures of Michelle Obama just reaming out President Obama. She's the first lady of the United States, and she's telling him how it is. And you know what? What kind of motivation is that for someone to change? I think about a wife yelling at a husband, or a husband yelling at a wife. What motivation does that produce to take it to the next level? So here's the question I have. When you're angry and frustrated and you just can't take it, what could be done to make this situation more productive? Another question is, how does this serve you? Now, I'm going to speak from experience here. When I was growing up, my father yelled. Former Marine, he got in your face like a drill sergeant. He yelled at you. I cried. Okay? It's just you can't help it. Your dad's in your face, yelling, pissed off, slamming stuff around, and just not handling it well. Now, in his older age, as he's matured, he has reined that under control. But there's one thing that I understood, and I don't know if it was the martial arts class or it was just having that experience, is that if I maintain composure in the most desperate or frustrating situations, I tend to have the upper hand. See, when you're worried and frustrated and you didn't ask the right questions, when you're angry and you're all tensed up and just pissed off and just like just raging, you miss the opportunity to take it to the next level. You miss the opportunity to share the lesson. You miss the opportunity to really manage the situation to your best interests. In fact, what I learned in martial arts is that the more angry you could make the other person, the more frustrated they were, the more they would take a wild swing and you could use their own momentum against them. The more likely they would not see certain things and you could just excuse yourself from the situation. Now, of course, that led into me having a big mouth at school and people wanting to fight all the time, but I never actually got in a fight at school because I could always defuse the situation. I could always turn around their anger on something else. I could always get them confused, because when people are angry, they get confused and they're not sure what the topic is. Um, no matter the situation, is that when you maintain composure and a focus on your goals and objective, you just always win. Think about it. If a firefighter ran into a building angry, frustrated, without any clear direction of what they're going to do, they're running to their death. But instead, firefighters, law enforcement, and other emergency responders enter a situation with calm and composure. They enter a situation with alertness and focus. They enter a situation fully in control. And that's why I put this message together for you today, because I want you to be fully in control. I want you to maintain an aspect and composure that keeps you on top of your game no matter what kind of crap happens. And you're going to have things go bad, financial problems, employees stealing from you, bad things happening in the economy. You have to say to yourself, where is the profit in this? Now, you can still get angry, but take it out in a constructive way. Take it out by going to the gym and just pumping out a routine, or going a hike, or just really pushing yourself to the edge, doing some kind of useful, productive work. But never, ever allow yourself to be distracted. Never, ever allow yourself to be worked up. Because one thing you may not be aware of is that sometimes people like to push your buttons just to watch the show. Now, I'll admit it now, sometimes me and my brothers, we did things just to get my dad riled up because it was a show, it was entertainment. And my wife gets upset at times, and I don't rile her up on purpose, but she gets worked up and then gets used to getting worked up, and it just doesn't serve her interests. I see it all the time in workplaces. They like to get the guy, they want to see if they can get him over the edge and get him angry, get him fired or something. They want to just work the system, and you're not going to be aware of that if you are constantly getting frustrated, if you're constantly getting over the edge. Now, you might not be the type of person who would get in a screaming match or who would throw things, and I'm not saying I know people who do that, but I got my ass whooped quite a few times for pissing my dad off. But the bottom line is, you may not be that type of person where you think you're going up over the edge, but if you do this many times, if you get that frustration, that cloudiness, it actually will seem more and more normal. And you almost have to step back and look at yourself from another perspective. So when you feel like you're getting angry and you're getting a little frustrated, you're going to notice tension in your shoulders. You're going to notice tension in your jaw. You're going to notice kind of a worked up feeling. Now, some people respond to that by being angry. Some people respond to that by eating. Some people respond to that by a nervous feeling. And you might be saying, well, I don't have a physical response to this kind of things, but I feel nervous or otherwise. Or you might be saying that you don't have a situation where this happens, but I can guarantee to you that in selling situations, in work delivery situations, in everyday just activity, you will have situations where if you take a deep breath, let it out, just relax, you're going to solve the situation faster, get a more advantageous result than any other way possible. Let me give you an example before I wrap this up. You've just closed on a big deal. Okay, this is a big deal for your company. It's $100,000 sale. But you guys don't show up on time. The customer's pissed off. They're yelling at you on the phone. The accountant has called because there's an IRS audit. All these things start piling up. What is your response? Well, one way of handling it is to take out a piece of paper and make a list of the problems you face and address them one at a time. You might be saying, well, that's not practical. I got all these problems. No, you've got one thing at a time that you're going to resolve. And when you resolve it with that focus to be responsive rather than reactive, you will get more accomplished than trying to head it all and getting overwhelmed. So the customer, you just close this big deal. Your technicians doesn't show up, customers on the phone. That is a money opportunity. Money pays for resources. Resources can help you solve other problems. You address that carefully and focus. So what do? Do you get on the cell phone and call them right away? No, you take yourself and change your situation. Take yourself and change the environment, for example. Go into a quiet room, make your list of 3 or 4 key points. Maybe you're going to call your technicians before you call back the customer, and you're going to make sure technicians are en route. You're going to make sure everything's been addressed. You're going to make sure that they're at the right details are in place. You might go into the side room and assemble a few of your lieutenants, a few of your key people, and assign them tasks to do. But what you're going to do is you're going to stand upright, you're going to look focused, and you're going to explain to people this is how it's going to get done. We're going to solve this problem, and we're going to solve this problem now. You focus on lists, you focus on action plans, you focus on objectives. Now, a lot of people are going to want to give you excuses. A lot of people are going to want to give you reasons why it didn't turn out. None of that matters. What can we do right now? By maintaining composure, your mind will be more clear to address what happens right now. Now, you can still be angry and frustrated, but you can be angry and frustrated later. You literally lock that in a box, set it aside. I'm not talking about suppressing emotions here. I'm talking about shifting your focus to what you can do rather than all the crap that's happened to you. So you get your lieutenants together. You send them on action. You say, look, find out what's going on with the technicians. They need to be on the job site in 5 minutes. You call your service department. We need to have that project together right now. Drop what you're doing. Make it happen right now. And then you call your customer and you don't make excuses. The customer, you say, what's going on? They share the situation. You say, here is what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm currently done. Here's what we're going to do to make this right. It's really about taking control of the situation, but first taking the control of your emotions so that you are properly composed and focused to solve the larger issue. I'm Justin Hitt with Commercial Electrical Profits and the Inside Strategic Relations newsletter. If you're interested in more about how to literally transform your personality, the world around you, and actually get compliance with people who are frankly quite difficult, then you want to check out a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. There's a special offer with this podcast if you mention code J0418A. And the bottom line, too, if you have any questions about this or any other podcast, this or any other audio program, newsletter, whatever the hell I'm putting out there, if you have any questions, you can give me a call, or it's a recorded message hotline at 757-282-7779. I'm here to say, look, no matter what happens, the one who maintains composure, the one who maintains focus on the goals and objective, no matter what happens, you can opt out of the misery and choose success, can choose results, and I'm here to show you how. I'm Justin Hitt. Thanks for listening. Until next time, yes, you can create and keep profitable customers and turn every business relationship into profits, guaranteed.